Let me ask you something uncomfortable. You got trucks, trailers, tools, maybe even a shop, but how much of that do you actually own? Not it's in my name, not I made the payments this month. I'm talking about how much of your business is truly yours and how much is riding on loans, leases, and silent partners with interest rates. That's what the financial leverage ratio exposes. It tells you whether your business is built on real equity or propped up by borrowed bricks. So what is the financial leverage ratio? It's calculated by taking your total assets and dividing it by your owner's equity. So let me decode that a little bit. Your total assets, it's everything your business owns. That's your trucks, trailers, tools, equipment, building, land, cash, inventory, WIP, and your receivables. The owner's equity, that's what's truly yours. That's what you've invested. That's the profits you've retained, less what you owe or your liabilities. So if your business owns $1.5 million in assets and you've got $500,000 in equity, $1.5 million divided by $500,000 equals a 3.0 financial leverage ratio. That means for every dollar of equity, you built $3 worth of assets. It sounds good, right? Not always, because it also means 2/3 of your assets are funded by debt. You built a big home, but you only own one room. Here's a construction analogy. Let's say you're building a shop. You put down $100,000. You borrowed $300,000. Shop's worth $400,000. Sure, it's your name on the door, but 75% of it belongs to someone else until it's paid off. Same goes for your business. If your leverage ratio is high, you're growing fast, but on shaky ground. So what is a healthy financial leverage ratio? Well, between 1.0 and 2.0, that's solid. You've got a balanced foundation. Between 2.1 and 3.0, that's manageable, but you're leaning on debt. If you're between 3.1 and 4.0, you're in the risky territory. One hiccup could put lenders in the driver's seat. But if you're over 4.0, you're over leveraged. You're playing Jenga with borrowed bricks. Banks prefer this number under 3.0. The lower the better, because more equity equals more stability. So let me give you a real contractor example. I had a contractor doing great work, big commercial projects, modern branding, new office. He had $2.8 million in total assets, but only $420,000 in equity. That means his leverage ratio was 6.67. He owned a lot, but he was one bad month away from missing a loan payment and watching it all unravel. We slowed the buying, paid down the debt, left more profit in the company, and rebalanced for control. A year later, he was at total assets of $2.4 million, equity at $850,000. That means his leverage ratio was 2.82. Same company, but now he actually owned most of it. So how can you improve your financial leverage ratio? Number one, you can retain more earnings in your company. Leave some profit in the business. Equity builds safety. Number two, pay down debt faster than you take it on. Knock out high interest or low ROI loans first. Number three, avoid over purchasing assets. Don't buy gear to look bigger. Buy it when it pays back quickly. Number four, use leasing carefully. Leasing spreads payments, but it doesn't lower leverage if you overdo it. And number five, track your ratio annually. Watch how much you own versus how much you look like you own. Here's the final word. The financial leverage ratio is the reality check between appearance and ownership. It doesn't care how new your truck is. It doesn't care what your Instagram feed looks like. It only cares about what's yours and what's borrowed. So ask yourself, am I building something I actually own or just making payments on something that owns me? Because in construction, the job isn't done until the debt's paid and the equity is yours.